Berachot Perek Vav Mishnah Daled. We will continue our study, the Refuat Harav Daniel ben Miriam Chaya Ruth. Okay, we have a little bit of a complicated Mishnah today. The Mishnah we're going to discuss, the Mishnah we're going to learn today, this Mishnah discusses what's called Dinei Kedima, i.e., if you have a fruit bowl in front of you, what do you take first? And to be honest with you, these are some of the more complicated halacha that exist. I remember in yeshiva, in high school, I remember when we learned about this, what they said was, in the old country in Europe, when the future father-in-law wanted to test his future son-in-law's knowledge and ability, so he would stick in front of him a bowl of fruit and see how the kid answers, see what he took first, just to see, and then he would discuss, why'd you take this? Why didn't you take that? So we would always discuss interesting ways of getting out of that. Nonetheless, these are very complicated halachot, and it will take a little bit of an introduction and an explanation. So let's start by understanding what comes first. So there's a very famous pasuk in the Torah that describes the Shivat Haminim, the seven special species of that are indigenous to the land of Israel. So the Torah says the following: Ki Hashem Elokecha, Moshe Rabbeinu said to the Jewish people as they were about to enter into Eretz Yisrael, Ki Hashem Elokecha mevi'acha al Eretz Tova. Kadosh Baruch Hu, God, is bringing you to a good land. Eretz Nachalei Mayim, a land of Nachalim, of water, Nachalim, streams. Ayonot u'tohomot yotzim babika ubahar, wells and depths that come out from the valley and the mountain. Then the following, this is very famous: Eretz Chita u'sara, v'gefen u'teina v'rimon, Eretz Zeit shemen udvash, a land of Chita, wheat, se'ora, barley, gefen, grapes, teina, figs, v'rimon, pomegranates, Eretz Zeit shemen, olives, udvash. Dvash is dates, honey of dates. So the halacha says the following: that because the Torah specifically highlights these species, these seven types of fruits, since they're endemic to the land of Israel, they have special status within Jewish law. Okay, and you're supposed to give preference based upon these seven over other things. So therefore, if a person has a date or he has an orange, even though the orange was in Israel, the dates are Shivat Haminim, they got precedence. They have preference in halacha. If I ate a date or an orange, the bracha achrona on an orange is Berei Nefashot. The bracha on Shivat Haminim, as we all know, is bracha me'in shalosh. It's al ha'etz, as it were. Okay? So what goes first? So let's just look at this very carefully to see what's the order. Also, we have to know, so what if I have more than one fruit? What if I have a date and an olive? What if I have a rimon? What if I have a pomegranate and then I have a date? Or a fig and a date. So the halacha says that they go, the importance of each one is listed in the order of the pasuk. Okay? But we'll see. That's not exactly correct. So number one is Eretz Chita, wheat. Se'ora, 2, barley. Gefen, te'ina, rimon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But Chazal came along and said, it says the word Eretz, you'll notice, twice in the pasuk. Eretz Chita, Se'ora, Gefen, rimon, Eretz. Oops. Okay? So the Chazal said, the closer you are to the word Eretz, the fruit defines the Eretz. So the closer you are to Eretz, the more important the fruit. So Chita is number one because it came to the first Eretz. Se'ora is 2 or 3 because look, Zeit Shemen is also adjacent to Eretz. So Zeit Shemen is one away from Eretz. So there's a machloket because since Se'ora is barley, some say that the grains go first anyway, that Chita and Se'ora come first. So let's assume Chita and Se'ora 1 and 2. Okay, then Zayit 3, because this one is 1 away. Then Dvash, dates, are 2 away. That one's 2 away from Eretz, and we already 1 and 2 away. Then 3, 4, and 5 away are Gefen, Teina, and Rimon. So the order of the Shivat Haminim would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Relatively straightforward. With that in mind, then we can understand the beginning of our Mishnah. Says the Mishnah, Hayu lefanav minim harbe. What if I have a number of species in front of me and I have to decide what to eat? They put a fruit bowl in front of me. I went to a bar mitzvah and they put the fruit plate in front of me. There's a melon next to a date, next to a kiwi, next to grapes. So the Mishnah says, Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Im yesh behem beinehem mimin shiva. If they have from the shiva minim, alav u'mevarech, then you make the bracha on that first. The Chachamim omrim, and the Chachamim say, mevarech al ezehem sheyirtza. Forget shiva minim. You want the kiwi? Eat the kiwi first. Make the bracha on whichever one that you want. Now the Mishnah sounds relatively simple, but it's actually incredibly, incredibly complicated. So let's go back and we'll take a look. I took the time to make you a ridiculously complicated chart. Okay? So the Gemara says, the Kahanti explains, actually the Gemara explains that there's two possible situations, the number of possible situations in which you could face this minim harbe in front of you. Okay? So it's very simple. If I have an orange and a date in front of me, the bracha on both of them is Borei Pri Eitz. But what happens if I have a tomato and a grape in front of me? They're not the same bracha. Okay? So if I'm going to eat both of them, then you could say, well, if you're going to eat both of them, they're both the same bracha. So make the bracha on the one, that's a shivat tamini. But if they're different brachot, would Rabbi Yehuda's opinion still apply if they were different brachot? So that happens to be a huge machloket in the Gemara. So the Gemara says there are two opinions. Rabbi Ami and Rabbi Yitzchak Nafcha, and it doesn't say who's his with. So we have Dea Rishona and Dea Shniya. So according to the first opinion says that the argument between Rabbi Yehuda and Chachamim is only if birchotehem, if ein birchotehem shavot. If the brachot are not the same. I.e., I have a tamar, I have a fig, and I have tznon, a radish. I have a radish and a fig in front of me. One is ha'adama, and one of them is ha'etz. So the machloket, according to the first opinion, the only time Rabbi Yehuda and Chachamim argue is if birchotehem shavot. If the birchotehem shavot, the bracha is the same. I have an orange and a date, an orange and a fig. So therefore, then Rabbi Yehuda would say, since you're making the same bracha, min shiva adif. Shivat aminim goes first. And the Chachamim say, no, why do we make you make the bracha on shivat aminim? Do whatever you want. But according to this first opinion in the Gemara, if ein birchotehem shavot, if the brachot are not the same, if one of them is a fruit and one of them is a vegetable, I have to make two brachot anyway. Then the Gemara says, mivarech al zeh v'chazar mivarech al zeh. You make a bracha on this one, and then you make a bracha on that one. Now, of course, there's only one problem with that opinion. And that's according to both of them, both Rabbi Yehuda and Chachamim. There's only one problem with this phrase, mevarech al zeh, v'chazar mevarech al zeh. The problem is we don't know what it means. What does it mean? So there's three opinions about what it means. One opinion, it means whichever one you want. You want to eat the radish first, eat the radish first. You want to eat the fig first, eat the fig first. The other one, second opinion, says it means eat the one you like first. The third opinion says it means eat the shivat aminim first. Okay, everyone clear? Go back and rewind. It's really complicated. The second opinion in the Gemara says Rabbi Yehuda and Chachamim argue whether the brachot are the same or the brachot are not the same. In both cases, Rabbi Yehuda says that shiva minim is better, and the Chachamim say the one that you like is better. How do we paskin? So this, I brought you the Mishnah Berurah. I'm not going to read the whole Mishnah Berurah because it's a little complicated. Very complicated. You can pause and read it on your own if you want. This is basically what I just explained to you. Okay? How do we paskin? Actually, complicated enough, we paskin more or less like all of them. Okay? The Shulchan Aruch, he says, Hayu lefana minei perot harbe. If you had a lot of fruit in front of you, if the brachot are the same, and the shiva minim min shiva, makdim min shiva, you say min shiva first. Who said that? If the same bracha, min shiva, that's like Rabbi Yehuda. Af al pisha eno chaviv, even though you don't like it. Kamo hamina acher. Even if you like kiwi better than you like dates or grapes, make the grapes better. It's min shiva. V'im ein beineim min shiva makdim chaviv. What if there is a kiwi and an orange? Then whichever you want. Im ein berchotehem shava, but the brachot are not the same. Afilu yesh min shiva, even if there is shiva minim, kagon tznon v'zayit, ezem eshihem sheyirtze yaktim. Then you can do ezem mehem sheyirtze. So the Chachamim in the first, so the Shulchan Aruch says in the first din, he's paskening like the first daya. If they're the same bracha, then you do shiva minim. If they're like Rabbi Yehuda, if they're not the same bracha, then he says ezem mehem sheyirtze. So he paskens like that opinion. But then he says in the next day, he says Ulha Rambam. The Rambam says, Imaya min echad chaviv lo yoter. If one min was more beloved to him, bein shebirchotehem shavot, bein sheinam shavot, bein yish min shiva, bein shemin shiva, makdim hachaviv lo az beoto sha'a. So the Rambam says, forget it. Rambam doesn't paskin like Rabbi Yehuda, according to the second opinion in the Gemara, but the Rambam says, min chaviv adif. He paskins like the Chachamim always. So how do you do it? What are you supposed to do? Shulchan Aruch brings both. I actually have to tell you, I think you could paskin like the Rambam. You can pass them like and take the one you want. Personally, if I've got a shivat minim ahead of me, so I'll prefer to take the shivat minim. I'll take the shivat minim. I'll eat the grape and then I'll eat the kiwi in the fruit salad. But on the other hand, for somebody who wants to rely on the Rambam, the Shulchan Aruch brings both opinions. So while it's incredibly complicated and confusing, nonetheless, when it comes down to brass tacks, what do? The answer pretty much is, whatever you do, you have someone to hang your hat on. As always, sorry if this is a long one. It's a very complicated Mishnah. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to contact me, arspalter@gmail.com. Have a great day.